a couple days ago, I was just doing a lot of contemplation about the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And I came to a realization of the reason why we fast from all grains, from all bread during those four, 4 to 5 days. And so I believe that Yahusha, after he had risen, um, he had been with the people for 3 days until the end of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And he went up to the Father on the night of the third day. Well, on the night of the third day, after the Feast of Unleavened Bread is over, we all fast from grains, from breads, just all of those grains. And it made me realize that Yahusha was gone. And it's a time of reflection because Yahusha had gone to the Father and he doesn't return until first fruits when we wave or when the priest waves the barley. During those 4.5 days, we're to reflect on what our life is like without the bread. Yahusha is the bread of life. He is our life. The word is our bread. It's our daily bread. And without him, we don't have anything. And you know how it was when you were fasting of those grains, how much you longed for those grains? I know I did. And it was a relief to have that grain back on on first fruits. But there's also a pattern here that I saw. 4 days before Pesach, that's when we bring in the lamb. And that is also the day that Yahusha rode on a donkey up to Jerusalem to receive his kingship. And as he was going up, and the people on either side of him were waving their fronds, he was receiving that. Um, the waving of the fronds is another form of waving the sheaf offering when he returns. Um, Sorry, I'm losing my thought here, but I
So,
connected the two together because from the 10th to the 14th, the lamb is within our homes. And then from the night of the 21st to part of the day on the 26th, he's gone. He is away from us and we have no more bread.
and
It,
what's interesting, I just want to throw this in. At that time and that time alone, I think it was extra painful for his people because not only was Yahusha gone, but they didn't have the Holy Spirit even, right? They would not receive the Holy Spirit until Shavuot, those, you know, so while he was gone during those days, they didn't have Yahusha and they didn't have his Holy Spirit. So, you know,
and
I
we
think that's interesting.
Yes, and there are scriptures to that. And Linda had shared those. And the scriptures are Matthew 9:15, which says, And Yahusha said unto them, Can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then they shall fast. Mark 2:19 and 20. And Yahusha said unto them, Can the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. Luke 5:34 and 35. And he said unto them, Can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. And that's exactly what they do. Or what we do today is we are fasting those 4.5 days from the bread. And we long for that. We long for the bread to return, which is Yahusha. He is a representation of the life, the Torah. And I thought what was really interesting too is that in the Old Testament, they, even though they did fast from those grains, Yahusha was there. They just didn't know that he was there. He was hidden. But now that he had been revealed to us when he came, we fasted when he went up to Father, and when he returned after the fruits of sorry, I just lost my thought. Um, After the first fruits of the barley were waved, he had returned. And we read about that in John chapter 20, verse 26, when he was with Thomas, doubting Thomas, and he proved to Thomas, hey, it is me. I'm back. So anyway, that was my rumination that I went through as to why we fast is because Yahusha had been taken up that night and he didn't return until first fruits.
And then a spiritual lesson too, of course, is to don't take him for granted and be thankful.
Yeah.
And even though he's with us now or available to the world, most of the world ignores him, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we just wanted to share that because it makes the fasting from all grain make more sense because the bread of the world, Yahusha, right, was taken away. So
yeah.
pretty neat.
Can I
Yeah.
share a visual real quick?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Sorry, I did this while I was. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Oh, wow.
so here we go. So we bring in the lamb, like Christina said, on the 10th day of the first month. So it's here for one full day, two, three, 4.5, because the lamb is killed. And it's fasting. That's the other thing. The lamb is fasting.
He is fasting. You cannot kill a lamb that has not been fasting. And
Oh.
during that time, during the time that the lamb is in your house, the reason they fast it is so then it poops out all of the yucky stuff. So after the lamb is killed, it's placed on top of the altar where it is basically cooked. So you don't end up poisoning your meat from the poo. So that's one of the reasons, that's the reason why the lamb is brought in and it is fasted.
And
So
so then here, the day that Yahusha died, I'm sorry, the not the day that he died. This is the day that he died. This is the last day of unleavened bread at sundown. So half, way through the 21st of the first month, we start then our fast here, right? 1 week later for 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the half days before first fruits on the 26th.
yep.
Wow.
What's interesting too is like the bringing the lamb isn't a full day because they picked out the lamb at high noon so they could look for the perfect lamb. And then by high noon on,
So then I'm also stuck
first
on
fruits,
the
yeah.
week of the one
So
too. Oh, which
so
makes sense.
it is, it's exactly the same.
Because of
It's
my
really
weight
neat.
inside of it. Yeah.
Okay. I hope you followed me there, but the bringing the lamb wasn't all day, just like the first fruit. So they waved the sheaf, pretty early in the day. But yeah, that's something. Does that make sense to everybody?
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll
Pretty
stop
neat.
share.
All right. Okay. Well, it's about two. So yeah, there's that mirror image again, like he
Yep.
always does. It's just unbelievable, the patterns.
Thank you for that, Linda.
Yeah,
That was
sure. Thank
awesome.
you for finding that. That's a
Yeah, because a lot
really
of people is like, okay, so what's the purpose of this? And it's like, I'm sure there is one. Not sure what it is.
praise
So,
Yah that there's that he showed us with his pattern.
yep.